Welcome back to Candy's Classic Game Shrine, everyone, and today I'm going to take a break from doing reviews and do a list of my top 5 favorite officially released Virtual Boy games. Now I know the Virtual Boy library is small, but it doesn't mean that there aren't any good games to play. On the contrary, there's actually a bunch of good games, and I had a difficult time choosing just 5. So, with that said, let's go!
Number 5. Galactic Pinball. Galactic Pinball is one of those games you can pop into your console or emulator after a long day and just play without using much brain power. It's a great game to unwind to, and those that are fans of the Metroid series will find tons of Easter eggs in reference to it, like Samus, her ship, Metroids, and more. There's a variety of tables to play, and each one has its own theme and mini-games. It's a decent video pinball game with neat 3D effects. Number 4. Innsmouth no Yakata. Innsmouth no Yakata is a first-person shooter horror game with roguelike elements to it. It's the only one of its kind on the Virtual Boy, and it's a Japanese exclusive to boot. You play a man trying to escape a haunted mansion after getting a sacred book, armed with only your wit and a few revolver rounds. There are multiple endings to the game depending on the way you complete it, which gives it a lot of replay value. Your goal is to make it out of the mansion alive without being killed by Innsmouth monsters, straight out of an H.P. Lovecraft novel. Number 3. Red Alarm. Red Alarm is a 3D space shooter that uses wireframe graphics. If you didn't know better, you may even think that this was a Star Fox game on the Virtual Boy. The two games actually share many similarities, and if you can navigate the Star Fox SNES game, playing this game shouldn't be confusing at all. I must admit, it's much better on actual hardware than when you emulate, because of the 3D on the console giving you the ability to differentiate between the different surfaces much easier. One thing I love about this game is the fact that there are so many Easter eggs hidden within it. There's everything from a Virtual Boy and a controller, a fish, to a half-naked lady. One of my favorite things to do is pop it in and look for all of the Easter eggs. I still haven't found them all. Number 2. Vertical Force. Vertical Force is a space shooter similar to the games like Xevious, 1942, and Super Aleste, aka Space Megaforce. It doesn't show off the capabilities of the Virtual Boy's 3D too well, but it makes up for it with amazing music and addicting gameplay. This is one of the few games that'll actually have you wanting that automatic pause feature enabled because you're so caught up in it. If you're anything like me, you'll wind up adding the soundtrack to your music library too. One of the great things about this game is its price. It's still very cheap to obtain. Number 1. Virtual Boy Warioland. If you didn't see this coming, you clearly haven't watched my Adventures in the Third Dimension series. I can't gush over this game enough. Virtual Boy Warioland came out before Warioland 2 on the Game Boy Color and hasn't been ported to any other game console. This gem is overlooked by so many people due to the console it was released on being considered a failure. This plays just like your typical Warioland game, but with a great 3D effect that gives you the ability to jump between the foreground and the background of each level. On top of that, there's multiple endings to the game.
Well, that was my top 5 officially released Virtual Boy games that I think you should play. Let me know if you've played any of these games in the comments below, or let me know if your list would have looked any different. And until next time, guys, take care. I want to give a special shout out to my Patreon supporter, the SideQuest Gamer. Thank you so much for your support. If anyone else would like to become a Patreon supporter of mine, the link will be in the description below. Whoa, that 3D.